Hello, beloved fans all over the world. You're welcome. So let's have a quick chat. So during the weekend, when Liverpool lost to Chelsea, 2 goals to 1, 2 days after or a day after, when media houses and pundits they started commenting on the match, and I stumbled on one done by Sky Sports, and a couple of pundits there talking about Liverpool. They started putting in a new agenda for Liverpool. And as you can see here, the screenshot, the video is on Sky Sports. You can go check it out. So as you can see here, what I picked out from the statement is that Liverpool is in transition. Wow, we didn't know that Liverpool is in transition. No. And the reason he gave was because he said they brought in new players. That's good. That's good. Okay, they're in transition because they brought in new players. That's good. So before we look at that issue critically, when the season started, there was an agenda against my own club too, Arsenal. And that agenda was after the summer signing. I think it was recorded that Premier League spent about 3 billion, and Liverpool was the highest in terms of spending in the transfer market. I think they spent about close to 450, a little bit close to £500,000. Yeah, £500,000 for the transfer window, with the players they got, the quality players, not quantity, quality. Arsenal also bought also. But these guys, the pundits and these guys, they say now that Arteta has the squad depth, that it is now or never. And the same guys, when they are picking who is the favorite to win the league, they are still picking Liverpool. I can't understand how you will have Arteta say it is now or never because of the squad depth he has. And yet, when they ask you for who is your favorite to win the league and you pick Liverpool, it's kind of conflicting, right? Yeah, that's the media, right? So, to the point that some Arsenal fans bought into that agenda and they started saying it is now or never for Arteta if he doesn't win and all of that. That one passed. So the season began. The 5 matches they first played in the Premier League, Liverpool won those matches, I think, in the dying minute. Those 5 first matches that gave them that 15 points. They won those games in the dying minute. And another agenda came up again. It is slots time. That means when they win a match at the dying minute, they called it slots time. I think they took it also to the Champions League in their first game against Atletico Madrid. They won the dying minute 3-2 and they called it slots time. So the idea there was, this is what champions do. Even though they don't play better, they find a way of winning the game. That was what they were pushing out in the media and saying about Liverpool. That is what champions do. Even though they don't play better, they find a way of winning. And they were winning this game at the dying minute. Nobody was complaining. It was just all rosy because they said this is the mentality champions have and all that. And I remember in my videos, I said, when this dying minute goals will stop, what next will be for them, Liverpool? What next will they do when they stop scoring this dying minute goal? Lo and behold, after the 5th game, they lost to Crystal Palace. Late goal, 2-1 in the dying minute. They went to the Champions League. They were beaten by Galatasaray. They came back this weekend. They lost to Chelsea in the dying minute, 2-1. Now, after that Galatasaray game, before they played Chelsea, their coach came out and said, you can see the screenshot here, and said, if it was the ref that was in charge of the Galatasaray game, they wouldn't have lost the Crystal Palace match. That was the post match conference before the Chelsea game. So what he was trying to say was that the time that Crystal Palace won the game was more than the extra additional minutes they added. Me and you know they were the ones winning in the dying minute, and all of a sudden the card has flipped. He now has excuses why they lost the Crystal Palace game. So during the Chelsea game, they lost in the dying minute also. And Van Dijk came out and said this, that they were the one scoring late goals when the season started. And now, it is people winning them with late goals. The card has flipped. Now, from that point was when this agenda I mentioned earlier kicked in, that Liverpool is in transition. Can you see how the media has been in favor of them? Now, see, this is the new one, and people are buying into it. So, according to this guy now, this pundit, Liverpool is in transition because they added players or they bought new players, right? Bournemouth also lost like 4 of their players. Kekes to Liverpool, Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid, Zabani to PSG, Tango Ouattara to Brentford. And they bought. Are they in transition? Why picking out one team and say they are in transition? Because some players left and they brought in players, so they are in transition. That's the reason, because they've lost 3 games at a stretch. Can you see how the media is trying to protect Slot and Liverpool? Right? Arsenal has not had a proper 9 for 3 years, and they brought in Gyökeres. For the first time, Arsenal is having a proper 9. Right? They replaced Partey, who is our key anchor in the 6, and Jorginho, who left, with Nogard and Zubimendi. Eze came in, a new player, right? Madueke came in, a new player, Hincapi and Mosquera. So, Arsenal is also on transition now. If by his word, his say or his take based on Liverpool brought in new players because they've had 3 bad games. Remember when they were winning the 5 games in the 9 minutes? It was not a transition. They were what? This was a winning mentality. This is what champions do when they don't play well. All of a sudden, the goalposts have shifted. They lost 3 games back to back to back. They say they're in transition. Man, these media guys, I feel for some Arsenal fans who fall for this. Yes, I feel for them. That's the same thing they're even doing to Gyökeres now. Gyökeres have scored 3 goals in the Premier League, right? They bought him for less than £70 million, right? But the agenda now is he's not doing enough, he's not scoring goals. But they fail to understand that what Gyökeres does for Arsenal, except you don't watch Arsenal football, right? You will not understand what Gyökeres does or is giving to the Arsenal team right now as I'm talking to you. Because people are now free. Saka is free. Declan Rice, Eze, Martinelli, they are now free. Nobody double ups on a weight our midfielders, attacking midfielders and wingers anymore. All eyes is on Gyökeres. So he creates that opportunity for others. Are you seeing the job he's doing for Arsenal? The goal will come. It's natural, I understand. But my own problem now in this statement is Liverpool are in transition. See what they are trying to do. To push a positive agenda. If this was Arteta that spent, after winning the league, right? And a Slot won the league and spent this 400 and close to 450 million pounds in this season. If this was Arteta, my God, they would have finished him in the media. You already know what they normally do to him. Yeah? Just imagine if this was Arteta in Slot's position. the media would have gone all out for Arteta. Now they are trying to cover up slots and say they're in transition. Okay, Man U also, who bought, are in transition. All the clubs in the Premier League who brought in players are also in transition, including Man City, including Everton. Just mention Sunderland, all of them are in transition. Why picking out Liverpool? Simply because they have 3 bad games. Have others not gotten bad games? We, Arsenal, we lost to Liverpool at Anfield. We drew to Man City in our ground at Emirates. Others have gotten bad games also. Are they not in transition? Why this agenda? Why? If you're an Arsenal fan, be wise. All they are trying to do is to push, especially Arsenal fans, against Mikel Arteta and the team, to see how they can infiltrate and all this agenda can get into this team. That is what I see. Liverpool is in transition. Wow. Because they brought in new players. And the Robertson is there. Kekes, they brought in Kekes. The right back who left, Arnold. They have Bradley, who was even playing more last season because Arnold was injured in and out. Bradley was playing, so they brought in Frimpong. Their midfield is intact. Curtis Jones, Sabo, all of them are intact. Diaz left. They brought in Eketike. May so rest in peace. Thiago Jota, we lost him. And Nunes left. They brought in Isak. They brought in quality. The core of the team is still there. They brought in players just like others brought in players. Yet, Liverpool is in transition. Other people who bought also just the same way as Liverpool bought, right? They are not in transition. It is only one team they picked out because that is the new media agenda they are trying to push out so that we can buy into it and say, okay, probably if Liverpool doesn't win the league, just have they projected and say Liverpool is their favorite, right? If Liverpool doesn't win the league, what would I say? They said it from the beginning that this is an slot team. Liverpool is in transition. It is where we know you guys. Don't worry. Except those fans who are not wise enough that will fall for this clickbait or agenda you guys are trying to push, right? Okay, that's what I wanted to say to you guys, right? So leave your comment what you think about this in the comment section. Don't forget to like and also hit the subscribe button to support us on this channel. See you guys soon. Thank you.